Hi, my name is Vince Faney, and I want to apologize for cussing of the day after I finished up with that 230 pounds for 46 reps. I was attempting to beat Steve Paea's record. I have beaten the NFL record in the past. I did 62 reps in 60 seconds way back when I was 42. You'll see in that picture of me when I was young. See that picture on my profile on the website. I've done 57 reps last month. Not near as explosive and as fast as with the snap that I did. It was for 62 reps when I was younger. I did a couple times in the past couple months over 50 reps. This time I came back from a long illness, a respiratory infection I had for about a week. So therefore I was really under the weather, but I just I'm still trying to find those to get access to those films that I have of me doing 57 reps. So in the meantime, I wanted to just push out and see what I can do. And I did not get the 49 reps, did not beat Steve Paea's record. I did, however, promise to do what I originally promised to do, was make a comeback and beat Larry Allen's record of 43 reps. He's done 43 reps 2 years in a row at the Pro Bowl. Steve Paea has benched 225 pounds more than any man in football during the combine for the past 30 years. He did 49 reps at the body weight of 330 pounds. Now it's my premise, I'm asserting that that's really good, but athletes, human beings, can do a lot better. That was one of the things I set out to prove. To prove that Steve Paea is not working near his potential. If he was to train and make some additions to his training, some alterations to his training, Steve Paea has the ability to bench his body weight or as much as 400 pounds from 50 to 100 reps. And he has that ability to do every plane of movement. This isn't just about the bench press. The human beings have the ability to do that same rep range proportionally to every squat. So if you're benching 400 pounds for 100 reps, Steve Paea should at least be doing 600 pounds for 100 reps. At least. So forth and so on. If he's doing 300 pounds or 400 pounds for 100 reps, he should be able to do his body weight for 100 reps. And so that's what I'm striving to do. Right now, I have done 200 pounds. I'm right around 200, just hovering to 205. And I've done 200 pounds for 100 reps after doing several other sets prior. So, way back when I did 480 pounds touch and go. I will show on the slide some of the things that are still up on the record board. You guys can call Ironworks in Cresswell, Oregon, and you can ask the owners how credible I am. You could ask them if my name is still up on the board. And the fact is, when I weighed 180 pounds, I did 430 pounds. That's what you'll see on the record board, 430 pounds. However, that was at the end of a long workout. Started with like, X amount of weight when I could barely do 25 reps with pause, then when I could barely do 20-some reps ballistic, and then I do pause, 10-pound increments. Then I get to where I bounce the heck out of the weight, and then I did touch and go. I did a pause of 430 at the end of a workout without a bench shirt, without steroids. Then later on, I don't know, maybe a month later or so, I did 480 fresh. Warmed up just right, did a touch and go. I wish I had went for 5 instead of 480, because 480 went up so well that I think if I would have done 5 that day, I would have gotten the 5 touch and go. Not with a pause, but I did this without a shirt and without steroids at a body weight of 180 pounds and at 42 years of age. So, my thing is to basically just teach other people how to do this. And the reason why most people don't understand that it's possible is people don't understand energy systems. I found this out by tripping upon this method prior to getting in the car accident. I basically took many different rep ranges. I learned how to cycle the rep ranges, learned how to add in pauses, ballistics, so forth and so on. Now there's a science to that. When you see the video where I just did 46, you'll see that I'm bouncing the crap out of it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, the only reason why you could do that weight that day for that many reps is because you were bouncing the hell out of it. You're going fast and bouncing it. And you know what? That's true. I have a habit of only being able to do 20 pounds less for the same rep range if I pause. So 20 pounds, historically 20 to 30 pounds, I could do the same rep range with pauses and full extension. But for me to get that extra speed, I have to bounce it. And that's what those guys at the NFL are doing. If you notice, none of them pause and do a full extension. Most of them are going as fast as they can, and they're trying to get full extension each time. But if you notice, they don't get a full extension each time because they're focusing on doing as many reps as they can as fast as they can. And there's an advantage to going as fast as you can instead of a slower cadence. The more reps you do per second for any given amount of weight that you're lifting, the more power output you have. If you notice Steve Paea, in the first 10 reps or so, 20 reps, he's doing 2 per second with 225. Back when I did 62 reps in 60 seconds, my first 10 to 20 reps were doing 3 per second. So he has a power output of 550 per second. I had a power output of 775 per second. Now, pound for pound, my power output was far greater since it was at 180 pounds. His was at 330. Now, if I was to go to my body weight, and Steve Paea would have to bring his body weight and do the do 330 pounds, 300 pounds, it would be tougher for him. I would have to drop down from 225 to use my body weight. I did 100 pounds with 100 reps with 200 pounds. Now, the drop proportionally, the same distance proportionally to where Steve Paea did 225 pounds for those reps. When I make a proportional drop for my body weight, it's roughly about 140 pounds. I have done like 180 reps. I'm shooting for 200. I'm shooting for 200 reps of, well, one day I'm shooting for 200 reps of 250. That's what I really like to do, and be able to do twice my body weight with 350. I want to get down to 175, do 350 for 100 reps. That's my goal. Even though I'm a senior citizen at the end of this month, September 30th, I'll be 55 or 56, depending what government record you listen to, but 55 minimum. And so I'll be a senior citizen, which means my testosterone's so low, all I want to do is be held and look at flowers. But still, despite that, it's not about testosterone, it's not about steroids. And though it's not about testosterone, if I had the testosterone levels in my 40s, it'd be a huge advantage in the speed that I make progress and the amount of weight that I can do. If I had the same testosterone levels in my 20s, without steroids, it would be even greater still, a huge advantage. Now, one of the advantages I had when I was in my 40s, before the car accident, where I trashed all my cervical vertebrae, re-injured a crushed vertebrae in my thoracic cavity, exacerbate the broken L5 that I had from an accident as a kid, and basically further injured my knees, trashed my elbows. Rotator cuffs were all so torn up that for 2 years I could not lift more than 20 pounds in the bench press without pain. Sometimes a broomstick was agony for curls. A lot of times I couldn't even lift my shoulders up. Anybody of you who have rotator cuff injuries, you'll notice sometimes you holding a cup to pick up a mug is like almost impossible. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I didn't get surgery, but it was a long road back with physical therapy, chiropractic help, massage, and a rehabilitation that I developed, with just initially starting with like a 1-pound broomstick or a couple ounce broomstick. Anyways, that's what I did, and I experimented with various energy systems of the body, and of course studying exercise physiology for years. When I used to squat 480 touch and go, bench 480 touch and go, I squatted like 600 at the end of a workout fresh. I've done 700 pounds. Deadlifting, my deadlift has sucked. My deadlift at the very best, and that was because I have a broken L5, was 600. That's my very best, and I pulled at 180. Generally, I was a 5 to 550 deadlifter. I didn't really train it because just training aggravated that L5. I basically was only able to do, I was able to do that much because of my squat, which I could do really well without aggravating my L5. Now, it was before I got the degenerative disc disease. Anyways, the point is, if I can do this, you can do it. See, I used to go out in the world and I'd see people do something, and I finally learned if any man and woman can do something, then I can do it. If somebody else has already done it, I can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So it's just about science, about training. You don't need steroids. The one thing a person needs to do is they have to keep their body fat level very low, which, as you can see, I'm in better shape than I used to be. I'm no longer 235 pounds. I'm down to about 200. But I have 20 to 30 pounds of fat all over my body. It's spread evenly. And you talk to any of the experts like Charles Poliquin and so forth, they'll tell you that fat embedded in the muscle impairs the speed of contraction, impairs the depth and the completion contraction. It acts as brakes. So it impairs the speed of which I could do things. It impairs the muscular force I could generate. And yet, because I paid attention even more than I used to, how to better implement the various energy systems to help me do this